Welcome dear children to today's session in physics. Today we are discussing some additional points and problems. So here we are discussing some graphs because previous two board exams new graphs were being asked. So wherever we have equations we will just discuss the shapes of the graph. So in applications of Gauss's law we have what the first application, that is infinitely long uniformly charged straight wire of charge density lambda, and the magnitude of electric field was found to be this. So here we can discuss the graph. That means here E is inversely proportional to R. So if we draw a graph by taking R along x-axis and E along y-axis, we'll have the shape of the graph that of a hyperbola. Like this graph we will have. So this will be the shape of ER graph. Or if we are drawing a graph with the lambda, sometimes it may ask like that also, what will be the shape of the graph? Because lambda, E is directly proportional to lambda. So surely that graph will be what? A straight line. Okay, so you'll have a straight line graph if we draw with the lambda. Okay. So in the case of a charged sheet of surface charge density sigma, we know the expression for electric field is sigma by 2 epsilon 0. So it's clear that electric field is independent of the distance of the point from the sheet. Okay, so in that case if we draw a graph between E and R, that graph will be a straight line which is parallel to the R axis, that means x axis, because there is no dependence at all on R. Okay, so if we draw a graph like in this case, that is E versus sigma, that graph will be similar to this because it is directly proportional. So take care of such things. Now in the case of charged spherical shell, this is the case with the electric field. That means electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square n cap when the small letter r is greater than capital letter R. What is this capital letter R? That is the radius of the spherical shell, and r is the distance of the point from the center of the spherical shell. So outside the spherical shell we have already mentioned that the electric field varies as if the whole charge is concentrated at the center. So this is the expression, and inside, so when r is less than 0, less than r means what? Inside. So this is outside, and second one inside, and the third one what? On the surface. This is what I have written. We have already discussed all these things. Now when we represent these electric field magnitudes in a graph, how can we explain that graph? That's what we are doing now. So inside it is 0, on the surface it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square. Outside the surface, that means outside the shell, it is this. So the thing is this, inside it is 0. So this graph along x-axis r is taken and along y-axis E is there. So till r equal to capital letter R, the electric field is 0. When r equal to R, so the electric field is maximum on the surface of the shell. So on the surface of the shell, it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square. Okay. Then outside the shell, it is decreasing like this, inversely proportional, no, 1 by r square. So the graph take the shape of a hyperbola. So that's what is shown in this graph. It's enough to draw one side, but it's a standard format. Many a place you can see many word reference books, or in internet itself if you Google you can see this type of graphs, okay, showing to either side. So no much difference. The same thing here also. That means we are assuming the center of the spherical shell to be at the origin. So on either now, side it is drawn. We are discussing some problems which we haven't discussed yet. First one, example problem 111. Electric field components in figure are Ex is equal to alpha x raised to 1 by 2 Ey equal to Ez equal to 0, in which alpha equal to 800 Newton per Coulomb m raised to 1 by 2. Then calculate the flux through the cube, charge within the cube. Assume that A is equal to 0.1 meter. So this is a question which was asked more than once for board exam. Okay, and what is it? It's not so difficult, it's easy only, but you should understand this question. It's given Ey Ez equal to 0. It means in y and z direction there is no electric field, and electric field is in only x direction. And how the cube is kept, you can see from the diagram. How the cube is kept? The cube is kept like this, that is with the two faces parallel to that YZ plane like that. So the thing is this, since the electric field is only in x direction, the flux will be passing. You can imagine what is flux? Field lines. So field is in x direction means field lines are in that direction. So the field lines will be passing only through these two faces which are marked or shaded in blue. Through all other four faces, the field lines will not pass through at all because electric field in those directions are 0. Got it? So the flux through the four faces that is equal to 0, and the flux passes only through these two phases which are marked blue. That is the importance of this question. So you have to find the flux through the left face and the right face, and the total flux will be the sum of those two fluxes. Okay, and one more thing is there. You can see that left face of the cube, it is at a distance a from the origin. So what will be the distance of the right face from the origin? It will be a plus a, because edge of the cube is a. The edge of the cube also is a. Now we have to find the flux through the two faces which are marked blue in that diagram. Okay, so in that case, what will be the flux? So the expression for electric flux, so we will write it as, so here two faces are there, left face and right face. So the total flux, in the question we are asked to find the total flux through the cube. So total flux through the cube phi is equal to flux through the left face or left surface plus the flux through the right surface. So first we need to find phi L and phi R, then we need to add both. That's what we need to do. So first when we look at the expression for flux, so the expression for flux is E dot A, where E is the electric field and A is the area vector. So that is equal to EA cos theta. So on the left surface, so to find phi L, on the left surface area vector is in, that means area vector is towards, this is how area vector is towards left direction, and electric field is in positive x direction. So this is the direction of electric field and this is the direction of area vector on the left surface. So here theta becomes 180 degree. Theta is equal to 180 degree and cos 180 is minus 1. So phi L becomes minus EA. Okay, so phi L is equal to minus EA. Now we need to substitute for this E and A. Now what is this E? E will be equal to EX, because electric field is only in x direction, and EX is equal to alpha x raised to 1 by 2. So as per the given diagram, in the diagram it's given that left side it is at a distance a from the origin. So for the left surface, this x is equal to what? A. X is equal to A. So that is equal to alpha A raised to 1 by 2. So when we find phi L, that Ex becomes alpha a raised to 1 by 2. So phi L becomes what? Minus alpha a raised to 1 by 2 into area. Area of the face is a square. So small letter a square. So it becomes minus alpha a raised to 1 by 2 plus 2, it will be 5 by 2. So minus alpha raised to 5 by 2 will be the answer for phi L. Now in the same way we need to find phi R. What will be phi R? So when we find, so at the right side, at the right face, what about E and A? Electric field in the same direction, but area vector also will be coming in the same direction as that of electric field. So in that case, theta will be equal to 0. So phi R will be, when we use the equation E dot A, phi R becomes what? E into A, because cos 0 is 1. So phi R is equal to EA. So what is E here? Again, the equation for Ex is equal to alpha x raised to. So we will write Ex. Ex is equal to alpha x raised to 1 by 2. Now for the right face, what is x? It is A plus A. Understood? The right face, it is at a distance A plus A, that means 2A from the origin. So x become 2A. So the expression Ex becomes alpha 2A whole raised to 1 by 2. So it can be written as alpha or root 2 alpha A raised to 1 by 2. So the expression for phi R becomes, phi R is equal to, it is root 2 alpha A raised to 1 by 2, that is E into A square. So it becomes root 2 alpha A raised to 5 by 2. So that is the expression for phi R. So what will be total flux? Total flux becomes phi is equal to phi L plus phi R, that is root 2. Phi R is what? Root 2 alpha A raised to 5 by 2 minus alpha A raised to 5 by 2. So this is the expression for total flux. Let's simplify it. So alpha A raised to 5 by 2, you can take it outside. So within bracket you will have root 2 minus 1. What is root 2 minus 1? Root 2 value is 1.414. So it becomes 0.414 into alpha A raised to 5 by 2. Now you need to substitute for alpha and A. So you will get the final answer. So substituting for alpha, we have 0.414 into 800. In the question it's given alpha is 800 and that A value is 0.1. So 0.1 raised to 5 by 2. This is what we need to do. So for doing this part, you have to use logarithm. So such calculations, as I have already told, logarithm 5 videos or 6 videos I have already given. So it's your duty to learn how to do problems or how to do calculations using logarithm tables. I have already told. So by doing that calculation, this answer you will get it to be 1.05 into Newton meter square per coulomb. So this is the expression for total flux. Now coming to the next part of the question. In the next part it is asked, what is the charge within the cube? We are asked to find charge. That is very easy because Gauss's law gives phi is equal to q by epsilon 0, which implies q is equal to phi epsilon 0. So substituting for phi, 1.05 into Epsilon 0 is 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. So we'll get the answer 9.27 into 10 raised to minus 12 coulomb. The next problem, that is 112. An electric field is uniform and in the positive x direction for positive x and uniform with the same magnitude but in the negative x direction for negative x. Okay, it's given that E is equal to 200 I Newton per Coulomb for x greater than 0 and E is equal to minus 200 I Newton per Coulomb for x less than 0. A right circular cylinder of length 20 cm and radius 5 cm has its center at the origin and its axis along the x-axis so that one face is at x equal to 10 cm and the other is at x equal to minus 10 cm. What is the net outward flux through each flat face and what is the flux through the side of the cylinder and what is the net outward flux through the cylinder, what is the net charge inside the cylinder. So 4 questions are there. Though it's a lengthy question, it is very simple. So as per the given question, here the electric field is uniform and when x is positive, electric field is positive and when x is negative, electric field is negative. What is the meaning of that? Here lies the origin. So on right side of the origin, electric field positive means this is the direction of electric field. On left side, this direction, that's what when x is negative. And on this direction, the electric field is in negative direction means this is the direction of electric field. So both the electric field, so if we consider, so this is how the cylinder is situated in the electric field. Its midpoint lies at the origin. So at these two faces, the electric field will have same magnitude because it's given uniform electric field. But its direction will be opposite. That is as per given in the question. That means electric field is in opposite direction. Okay, when x is positive, electric field is in towards right direction and when x is negative, electric field is in means towards left direction. Okay, now we are asked to find flux through each face. Now let's find the flux through the base surfaces first. Then we will find the flux through curved surface. So when we consider, so let's number them 1, 2, 3. So what is the flux through first surface? First surface we are considering. So through the first surface when we find the flux, so we call it as phi 1. Here electric field is in this direction and area vector also in the same direction. So E dot A, it becomes EA. Okay, why it becomes EA? Because here theta is equal to 0. So cos theta, cos 0 is 1. Now we can substitute for E and A. Here electric field is given, the magnitude is 200 and A, area it is circular shape. So radius is given 5 centimeter. So you have to use the equation pi r square. So 200 into pi into 5 centimeter. You convert it into meter. So 0.05 the whole square. So EA comes like this. So that is equal to 200 into pi into, so in terms of pi we will write the answer. So it becomes 25 into 10 raised to minus 4. So finally it comes around 50 into 10 raised to minus 2 pi. That means 0.5 pi. So the answer is 0.5 pi. The unit is Newton meter square per Coulomb. Okay, so that is phi 1, flux through first phase. Now coming to phi 2, the flux through second phase. Here is the second phase. Here electric field is in this direction. Area vector, that is the outward normal, also comes in the same direction. So here also theta is equal to 0. Okay, so phi 2 becomes what? Again, you will have the same steps. So I am writing the answer. Phi 2 also will be 0.5 pi Newton meter square per coulomb. So that is phi 2. Now let's find phi 3, the flux through curved surface. Curved surface. So for the curved surface, electric field direction. So if this side we are considering electric field direction is in this direction and the area vector comes like this. So the angle between both the electric field and area vector, it becomes 90 degree. If we draw on this side also, it comes like that. Electric field will be in this direction, area vector in this direction. Again, the angle between electric field and area vector, it comes to be 90 degree. So this phi 3 will be equal to 0 since theta equal to 90 degree. So through the curved surface, there is no flux. So what will be the total flux? Phi total is equal to phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. So that is the third question, I think, sub question. So here we have 0.5 pi plus 0.5 pi plus 0. So the answer becomes pi is the answer, pi Newton meter square per coulomb or 3.14 Newton meter square per coulomb. So that is the answer to that question. So we have found the flux through each phases and the total flux also we have found. So 3 sub questions are over. So first sub question, second one, and the third one, it's over. Okay, now coming to the last sub question, what is the net charge inside the cylinder? So to find that, fourth sub question we are doing. So fourth sub question we can use directly the Gauss's law. Total flux is equal to Q by epsilon 0. So this implies Q is equal to phi epsilon 0, from which we get phi is 3.14 into 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12. So by substituting, we will get 2.78 into 10 raised to minus 11 coulomb. So that is the answer to that question.